But I also think women are more flaky than ever now because they can continue to get validation without meeting those guys. That is the flake rate for women right now. I've had so many guys. I have 3,600 clients, and I ask them all the time, have you noticed, especially the ones who are in their 40s, have you noticed the flake rate of women in general, not just your experience, but your experience in general, has gone up astronomically? And it has. It absolutely, it's one of the craziest things that I've seen. And it is just one of these things where it's like the accountability, like the idea of like, could you imagine if I just didn't show up for the show and then didn't call you to tell you why I wasn't coming?
Right.
Like you wouldn't even be mad. You'd be confused. Like what in the...
I would think you were in jail.
Yeah, what in the blue... you doing? Like, why
Yeah.
would you do? For us as men, the idea of no call, no show to anything is just so outside of our reality. And then we see women in the flake rate for everything, dude. Modeling shoots, like comp tables, whatever it is. Like you could say whatever. Paid modeling shoots, you'll see girls flake. And I'm like, what in the world? I had a bikini competition for $130,000. I had a girl who made top 10, and she no called, no showed. And I was like, I wasn't mad at her because another girl took her place and took her money. I was just like, how could you do that to yourself? Yeah. You're sitting there being flaky for no reason. And it's just one of the craziest things. And so I try to ask women, it's like, why is it that you just can't get up? You can't just text back. You can't do anything. And I think what's happened is they just take the attention they get so much for granted because they get so much attention from men, and they just think it's going to be there forever. And then all of a sudden, good night, queen, and then that's gone. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they notice it. But the other thing I've seen is, and this is really important, this is the reason why long distance, he's the first person I read this about, and it's absolutely true. Long distance relationships do not work. And the reason why they don't work is because as a man, I get my validation from intimacy from a woman, and more importantly, her desire to want to be intimate with me. So it has to do with physical touch. I can't do that long distance, but she can get her not always, but she can get her validation from my attention. I can still give you my attention over FaceTime, but I can't get your intimacy over FaceTime. So in a long distance relationship, she's getting all this validation, he's getting none. And then I've also seen, I mean, I live in Vegas. I'm not telling you this because I was the one getting cheating on. I'm telling you this because I'm the one on stage with Diplo and Marshmallow watching who goes up into the room. Like I'm the one watching this. I've seen girls who I know to be good girls, but it's just their friends taking Molly up in the right hotel room, and then just happens. That's the way it works.
Guy has been sending me Goodnight Queen every single night since May.
Anything a guy does for you, he's doing for other girls. And thank you to this man for proving me right. Look at this.
Started in May.
So I have bad news for you ladies. The account that's sending you goodnight messages is not a real account. In early May, I built an Instagram bot that would send these messages to a group of popular creators to measure the impact of artificially boosting their egos. My plan was to start in May and send goodnight to single large popular creators and then stop the messaging around December 23rd, which is right in the midst of the holiday season and the most loneliest time for a single person. And I was going to demonstrate how much random people have influence over a popular creator whose entire self-worth is based upon the validation and appraisal of others.
If I don't get a Goodnight Queen, it hurts my feelings, and I love this.
And my hypothesis was correct. These women said they missed the goodnight messages. They were attached to it. Follow for more big brain social hacks.
That is the guy who created Parallel Lives. Because every time I describe it, the first thing that people say to me is, what happens when girls find out about this? And they don't, because you guys don't check shit. That's why you guys keep dating Bitcoin millionaires. He's got a Netflix special coming out, and you guys keep dating these guys. So Parallel Lives, what it is I would go live on IG like I did before, except this is an app that makes it look like there's 70,000 people watching live. And depending on what I talk to, there's AI-generated comments. He's the one who created this. And women absolutely started cheating on their husbands because there'd be guys walking around the club and they'd have 70,000 people watching, and the girls would just turn into total because of it. And several women would complain afterwards once they found out that he didn't really have 70,000 people watching, and tell their boyfriends, like, no, this didn't really happen. But it's one of these situations where he keeps on doing these social experiments. Now, and the one he just did right here, he got Goodnight Queen every night for hundreds of nights, and then it went away. And it showed how much these content creators really had a problem. And so much so that they posted about it on TikTok. And then he took the reaction from them and then actually made a video about it. Wow. How crazy is that?
It's awesome.
Honestly, I've actually seen somebody use this app in real life.
Yes.
The day that I saw it on Instagram, and I thought it was hilarious. And then I went to a date club here in Vegas, and some guy tried to use it on me, and I was like, "There's no fucking way this is happening right
The
now."
jig is up.
It doesn't matter how many people I tell. It really doesn't. I've talked about parallel lives so many times, and women constantly still fall for it. Obviously, I'm not talking about you guys. You guys definitely aren't like this.
Present
The women just desperately want attention, and it's just so It's so maddening. Now, do you understand how having that level of attention, the validation from that level of attention outside of our relationship might be deleterious?
Anybody?
I love that. Anybody have any thoughts about Goodnight Queen? Anybody?
I was just gonna say that I think I would miss the guy who talks to himself in my DMs just a little bit because he sends really fire memes, honestly, and it's been years. I haven't responded in like 2 years, but every day I get memes. And they're kind of fun to look at.
Give him a shot. Then. Why don't you give the guy a shot?
I totally relate with that.
Because he's fat.
It makes you feel good. I'm like, wait, where'd my stalker go? I miss him. Come on,
Kind of
come
like
back.
when the loyal story likers stop liking your story. It's like, okay, it's like not a banger.
I'm like, wait, why aren't you DMing me anymore?
It's like
What
they
did I
just
post that you
annoy
don't like
you
now?
so much, but then you're like, where'd they go?
That's funny.